Thank you to our sponsors for today's video, Ionna, InfyPower, and Eaton. Ionna, North America's premier charging network. With unmatched commitment to elevating the customer experience, Ionna is opening America's roads to all EVs, giving drivers the coverage they need, the reliability they deserve, and the amenities they crave. Also, InfyPower, the largest EV charger module provider with over 3 million power modules running reliably worldwide. Their latest G2 collection features ultra-high power density and efficiency for EV charging and energy storage integration. InfyPower, innovation for your power. And Eaton. Eaton is a one-stop shop for implementing reliable and innovative EV charging infrastructure at your site. Across all applications, Eaton's EV charging infrastructure, hardware, and software gives you the scalability, flexibility, and intelligence you need to charge today and scale up tomorrow. Learn more at eaton.com/EVCI. Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. You join me and Drew in Hong Kong, where I've actually found in our hotel parking garage the new MINI Aceman. Now, this is a car that we're not getting in the US, at least yet, maybe in the future. It's MINI's all-electric smallest SUV, and we have it next to a Countryman so I can show you the size difference. For those of you who don't know, I'm a huge MINI enthusiast. I've owned many over the years. Forgive some of the beeping going on in here. Drew, what's up? How's Hong Kong going for you so far?
Oh man, it's really cool. I mean, yeah, obviously spent a lot of time in mainland China, but Hong Kong is surprisingly way different. So yeah, I've only been here for like less than 24 hours, so we'll yeah, explore more over the next couple days.
Yeah, we've learned like their electric cars use CCS2 instead of GBT here.
Right.
And everything's right-hand drive because it was an old UK colony, and I didn't really even know that until we came here. So a lot to learn, and Minis are pretty popular, and so is the new MINI Aceman. In this video, it's not going to be a full in-depth driving review, just our first look at this car because, Drew, we are not going to see this in the US anytime soon, and I'm kind of bummed about it because I think it could actually be good if it came to America. Starting off with the specs, Drew, things are not looking good.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So the battery packs are too small. You can get a 38 kilowatt hour usable pack, which seems way too small. That has like 75 kilowatt peak charging. Just skip that one entirely. That's in the Aceman E. Then you can get the SE, which gives you the big battery of 49 kilowatt hours usable, which is like low 50s gross. That will charge at a whopping 95 kilowatts. Woo! And 10 to 80, 30 minutes plus or minus, which means they say it adds 100 miles of range, I'm assuming in WLTP, in 15
30.
minutes. Oh no, you're right, 30 minutes.
30!
Holy smokes. The Lucid Gravity does 100 miles EPA in 5 minutes.
Right.
So, okay, so then that means the price has to be good. The one inside we're gonna show everyone is the JCW trim, uses that same big battery, but a more powerful motor. We'll explain more in a minute. But the price isn't that cheap because this is kind of like an EX30 size car. So it's going up against Zeekr X, Lincoln Co. 02, that sort of Geely thing. This is Mini's take on the ultra small, ultra urban SUV, front wheel drive only. And it's like base price is a little bit less than EX30. They're like under $40,000 US. I'd want to say somewhere around 35,000 US. But then when you put options on it, when you spec the SE, when you spec the JCW, you're deep into the mid 40s, maybe touching 50 grand, Drew. And that seems like a lot of money for a small package, which has always kind of been the Mini problem.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
So there's a couple redeeming factors here. First of all, I think it's a super fun and quirky looking car. I actually spoke to the product manager at one of the big auto shows in Germany about this car maybe 3 years ago. And I'm like, what's the difference between the Aceman and the Countryman? And this looks like a cruise ship parked next to the Aceman, which the Countryman's really just an iX1 underneath. It's like a BMW X1, which is already considered small. But when you see them next to each other, this does make sense. It is kind of a bit bigger than the Mini 4-door because they make the hardtop 4-door, which is hilariously weird looking in my opinion. And I think that's kind of gone from the lineup, is how I'm feeling. Maybe not. We still get it in the US. I haven't seen any here in Hong Kong, and this kind of replaces that. But in general, it is expensive. It is small. The performance numbers seem really crappy. The range is like 150 miles to low 200 miles, depending on the battery pack, which is probably fine for urban commuting, but still nothing impressive. But the interior is super cool. The software is super cool. And I actually think some of that style and nice interior materials is where the money is going. Let's show everyone around the back. What's your impression overall on the size, the shape, the design, Drew? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm very confused. I mean, I like Mini if we're talking about, you know, small, light, sporty, you know, fun to drive, rotates nice on the brakes, and has some real performance. Haven't driven it, so I don't know what the dynamics are like, but yeah, it's got to drive really great for me to start to like it, because the specs just aren't very impressive.
Yeah, so we're talking like around 150-ish horsepower base up to just under 200 horsepower for the JCW plus or minus. So the specs seem lame. The fact that it's only front-wheel drive and you can't get like a dual motor all-wheel drive is a little bit annoying, because the Countryman, which I never thought would look big before, is looking pretty big here. You can get a dual motor all-wheel drive spicy version in this. Now, the reason we're not getting the Aceman, Drew, is just like the standard I think it's called J01 Mini, the Cooper hardtop electric, which I've already filmed on this channel. This is built by Great Wall Motors in China, just over the border, not far from here. And as you guys know, we have huge tariffs on electric cars, and Mini and BMW EV sales haven't been that impressive in America. So I think there's a small chance that we'll get this car when they build it in the UK, which I think the plan is the Aceman will be built in the UK at some point, but still probably never going to come to the US, which I think is a shame, and I will tell you why. I think there is going to be a resurgence or a pop-up of these sort of not long-range, crazy, lucid gravity type stuff, but sort of on the cheap or premium but small urban crossovers. I think EX30 could do really well. I think if Tesla launches like a Model 2 could do really well. And while I do think the price is a bit much here, I bet they could do it on a really good lease. And one of these on a super great lease would make a ton of sense in our market. And so that is the main reason why I'm kind of sad we don't have it coming, because most small EVs are going to be kind of cheap feeling and not that nice. This still has BMW quality in it, which certainly is great. However, Drew, we should talk about the EX30, because that's the big elephant in the room. 450 horsepower in that one.
Yeah, that's and you know, if you like Volvo stuff, like, oh man, that's so interesting. And then yeah, has like right double the performance of this.
Yeah, totally. And all-wheel drive, so much more usable, and probably even has a better image than a Mini. It's a little bit more grown up, which maybe people like in certain areas. I just think like if this were to come to the US, it should have way more performance, way better charging. But we talked to our buddy Felix, who lives in the Netherlands, and he says these are everywhere in the Netherlands, and he can't understand why, but people are buying them.
Yeah, so that my question of like, okay, but who really buys this? And okay, I guess there are enough people to make it worth it.
Maybe, yeah. It's hard to say. I mean, we're going to go inside and show everyone the interior here in a moment, but proportionally, I actually like the size. I love small cars. It's got a usable back seat that we actually fit in the back of this car, surprisingly. Yeah. And overall, I think the packaging is really nice. I just think for the US, we would need a bigger battery option with faster charging. I love this X5 diesel with the X5M body kit.
Oh, nice.
Everyone modifies their cars here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy.
Love it.
It's funny. So should we go inside, show everyone the software, and then we'll end with final thoughts out here?
Sounds good.
This one is the JCW 190 kilowatt front motor, I think.
Okay, all right.
Which isn't that bad. That's actually mid 200 horsepower, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, yep. And then, I mean, if you have, you know, all of that from zero, and, you know, immediately once you put your foot down, then that'll feel spicy.
Yeah, and BMWs are pretty good at giving you power from zero in general. Okay. So I've driven the Countryman electric. We have a full review on this channel. I love what Mini's doing with the interiors. The steering wheel's super cool with that little racing strap. And I actually really like this software as well. So you have a bunch of different applications you can scroll through. If I remember how to use it, this pulls it up for everything. So you can go through this. There's a bunch of different drive modes as well. So they call them experiences. So you can go like into go-kart mode, since this is the JCW. This
the
also,
only way I would drive it.
yeah, they even say like, woohoo!
Oh my gosh, okay.
So there's a bunch of fun stuff like that. It gives you your kilowatt output, your motor temperatures, and you know, it's mini. There is a performance edge to this. And you said the tire it was on looked pretty spicy.
It is, yeah. It's 240 tread wear, Goodyear. I mean, yeah, with like a really, really short tread depth.
You're going to
I mean, you're going to be burning these up all the time, yeah.
Well, good for the replacement tire market, I guess.
Yeah.
Shout out Nokian tires. But yeah, I mean, I think this is all very similar to our Countryman review. If you've seen, this brings up like all the car settings, such as like ADAS and driver safety. This does have, you know, lane centering, which for Mini is new. So it's good to have all that sort of BMW system light, if you will.
Okay,
It's not like the hands-free stuff, but in the Countryman, they do offer more things.
Yeah.
Nice air vents up here. You're going to be blasted. Yeah, and I do like the ambient lighting is shined out the back of the screen to create all of this. No, it's just kind of this stuff, which can't see, it's too bright in here. But head-up display, that's the thing Mini always gets wrong with those pop-up head-up displays. Those suck.
Yeah. Huh, that's a little strange. I mean, yeah, can we turn that on? Can we see that?
Probably not in showroom mode. They actually really didn't want us filming in here, so we're just squeezing in the video.
Yeah, she kind of said yes and then said no.
And then we're like, oh, we're going to go sit in there anyway.
We're going to go with the yes.
But, you know, I love this door card too. So you get Harman Kardon, really nice everything. Just feels great. I mean, it feels really well put together. It's a small car, but no question, like, this can work.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump in the back seat to show everyone what that's like. So we've got a super chunky door pull right there. Feels nice. And this is the big question, because, you know, the Countryman's not a large vehicle, and this is admittedly a really small car. So I'm going to sit behind myself here, and I actually do fit. Like, I can get a hand in between here.
Let me show.
Oh yeah, nice. And I've got, does this thing pull down? It does look like it does. Maybe not. No.
Does not pull down.
But it is 3 across. I don't know who would sit here.
Right, yeah, that is pretty funny.
That'd
That's
be
a skinny.
I don't even think you could fit there, Drew. But yeah, look at that. My head isn't hitting.
Yep.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
So the sunroof, which we can't open because the car's in showroom mode, only comes to here, but I still think that helps open this thing up. And just like every Mini and BMW, there's multiple options, multiple trim levels. So there's like 3 powertrain levels and then 3 interior levels. Mm-hmm. So this is like top spec everything. This is probably like a $50,000 car, which is almost Model 3 performance money.
Yeah, that's where I just start to not get it at all.
Right. So sitting here, I would say visually it looks worth the money. Like, everything's super nicely designed. The materials are great. Actually, I think it's great. This needs like 500 horsepower all-wheel drive.
Right. Yeah. Or at least, you know.
No, I think that's it.
Yeah. I mean, that is kind of. That is
so then what are the Germans doing? The Chinese are making hugely powerful cars. You know, like EX30 is basically Chinese, 450 horsepower in that thing. It's a monster. It's
Absolutely.
Great. Why can't the Germans do fast and small?
Yeah. I don't get it. It must be so. I really, I'm just totally confused about Mini, but there must be some decisions going into it that, you know, I mean, again, people are buying them. So if so, they don't have a problem.
Well,
right?
I don't think they're buying them in numbers. I mean, there's inventory here.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess just from our friend from the Netherlands.
Yeah, he said that these were everywhere. Yeah, which I haven't heard about online. The reviews just dropped a few weeks ago.
I guess I'm taking that from one guy saying one thing, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say, but I would like to drive one. Maybe next time I'm in Europe, I'll grab one for a few days and play around with it. But the 95 kilowatt peak charging just doesn't sound appetizing. That's basically 2C, less than 2C charging.
Right.
And the Chinese are at to 5C or 10C charging if you're BYD.
Right.
And so just the technical components seem really lame, where the price is going to be a little bit higher. So they're trying to sell you on style and design, which is fine if you charge at home most of the time and you cruise around the city, which works. But I still think if you're going to spend a premium price, you should get a premium drivetrain.
I totally agree.
So that software, we have a full tour already in our Countryman review, but it's an OLED screen running Mini OS 9. It's basically Android based. Gets updates, does all the stuff, has good charging limits and charging modes, lets you set everything. They recommend an 80% limit for daily charging, which is why they've charged this showroom car to 100%. And not their car, I guess. But I do think like the view out the front's cool. Steering wheel's great. Sound system's going to be good. I really like this whole center console. 4 USB-Cs with the wireless charging and the little cup holders. This is customizable. You can put in whatever you want. Back seat's great. Let's show everyone the trunk real quick, and then we'll end with final thoughts back outside because they don't want us filming it here. And just say, sorry, we don't understand. So let's take a look in the back. Can you pop open the charging port? Oh, it already is. Thank you, Drew. Yeah. So this is, you know, their CCS2 charging port. So very similar to, this is like a UK spec car, I guess, or close to it. Tail lights look super cool, probably customizable. Big trunk.
Yeah, yeah, and maybe, well, I guess we can imagine the seats flopped down totally, but
that little tab right there.
Like. You're looking at some pretty decent cargo space then.
That's surprisingly large.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then this is a really high lip. Not really high, but it is interesting how this just isn't lower down, but I guess it's to make room for the license plate. There's just a lot of stuff going on back here.
Just, fake arrow.
Yeah, but I do like the design of it. I think it's a cool looking car. I do think Mini needs to work on their rear end designs. Like that's the electric hardtop right over there. I'm not into the new taillights.
Yeah, this is weird. I'm trying to figure out what's really going on here because you have like 3 different shades or like levels of brightness.
Right, and I think it's all customizable.
Okay.
Yeah, but I love the front end of them. Like the front end of the J01 hardtop is sweet and super fun, and then the back of it just doesn't do it for me. But overall, this is cool. It's cool to check out the Aceman. I totally didn't realize these were already on sale yet. And we showed up, we saw one on the way in on the road.
Right.
And I was like, no way. And turns out they're everywhere.
Yeah. How about that?
So anyway, glad we got a new car on the channel. Thank you guys for watching another out of spec reviews video. I'll just end with my final thoughts here, which is it needs a bigger battery, it needs faster charging, and it needs to be the same price if you're going to do those. It feels like not the best value proposition, but it is a cool looking car. I think there's probably no front trunk under here because BMW doesn't do it. So I just think they're awesome. And I really expected to kind of hate it because the Mini Paceman was such a weird 2-door car. It like didn't actually work that well. There's like a 2-door Countryman. This actually feels like it has its own segment. It's smaller than Countryman. And I think this is going to be a great global car. I really wish it would come to the US. I think EX30 is going to be the only small premium car on sale in our market, and it needs some competition.
Strange. Yeah. We should get it for sure.
Yeah. So if they build this in the UK, please send it to America. Just adjust the price or put a bigger battery in it. One of those 2 ways. So thanks for watching another out of spec reviews video. Leaving you now from a Mini dealer in Hong Kong. Pretty sick. See you later.